Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Friday, June 23rd, 2023. Today we're going to recap yesterday's MLB games, WNBA, soccer, Men's College World Series, and look ahead to today and the weekend. We have a leaderboard for the Travelers Championship, NASCAR, my latest NHL mock draft, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start with baseball. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to the games being played today and the weekend. Braves over the Phillies 5-1 and 10. D-backs over the Nats 5-3. Twins over the Red Sox 6-0. Guardians over the A's 6-1. So best bet one. I had over 4.5 Guardian runs. The Padres over the Giants 10-0. So the Giants winning streak's over. Royals over the Rays 6-5, and Marlins over the Pirates 6-4. Oh, and Mariners over the Yankees 10-2. How did I miss that one? All right, tonight's game, 6:30, you have the Braves against the Reds. A.J. Smith-Shawyer and Luke Weaver. And the Reds, by the way, are going for a whopping 12 in a row. Yes. The Reds are going for 12 in a row. The Braves are going for 9 in a row. So 2 winning streaks on the line here, which is a really, really fun subplot. The 2 longest winning streaks in the league. The Reds are just smoking hot. The Braves are red hot. The Braves are favored minus 164. The Reds are plus 138. Over under 11. Overs minus 102. Unders minus 120. Braves minus 1.5 is minus 104. Reds plus 1.5 is minus 115. I'm taking the Reds straight up plus 138. 12 in a row. They're going for. Royals Rays. Zach Greinke, Zach Eflin. So the battle of the Zacks. Rays minus 275. Royals plus 225. Over under 8. Overs minus 102. Unders minus 120. Royals plus 1.5 is plus 108. Rays minus 1.5 is minus 130. Full game over. Don't feel the best about it. Tigers hosting the Twins. Kenta Maeda against Joey Wentz. So Kenta Maeda, we haven't seen in a while. He's back. They're minus 130. The Tigers are plus 110. Over under 9. Overs minus 105. Others minus 115. Twins minus 1.5 is plus 122. Tigers plus 1.5 is minus 146. Full game over here, too. Pirates Marlins on Apple TV Plus. Luis Ortiz and Jesus Luzardo. Marlins minus 190. Pirates plus 160 over under 7.5. Overs minus 112. Unders minus 108. Pittsburgh plus 1.5 is minus 40. Marlins minus 1.5 is plus 160. Full game over. Oh my God, that's low. 7 o'clock also on Apple TV Plus. Mets Phillies. Cody Senga and Taijuan Walker. This is a perfect opportunity for the Mets against the team that they've kind of owned over the last year and a half or so. Phil's minus 116, Mets minus 102 over under 9.5. Overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Mets minus 1.5 is plus 150. Phillies plus 1.5 is minus 182. I'm going to go with the Mets straight up at minus 102 to continue their owning the Phillies. Rangers Yankees. Dane Dunning and Clark Schmidt. Kind of a test for the Yankees, but at the same time it's not fair because they don't have Judge. The Rangers are favored, and rightfully so. Minus 112. Yanks are minus 104. Over under 8.5. Minus 110 each way. Rangers minus 1.5 is plus 146. Yanks plus 1.5 is minus 178. I'm taking the Rangers minus 112. Luis Severino's been terrible this year. Oh, wait. It says Clark Schmidt. And on the thing it says Luis Severino. That's weird. Is Clark Schmidt opening for Severino? But anyway, I'm still taking the Rangers. The Yankees are overvalued in this spot, as they were yesterday, too. Mariners O's. Logan Gilbert and Kyle Gibson. O's minus 112. Mariners minus 104. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Mariners minus 1.5 is plus 158. O's plus 1.5 is minus 192. I love the O's at home minus 112. A's Jays. James Kaprielian and Chris Bassett. Jays minus 310, A's plus 250, over under 9, minus 110 each way. A's plus 1.5 is plus 122. Blue Jays minus 1.5 is minus 146. Full game over. Brewers, Guardians. Wade Miley, Shane Bieber. Guardians minus 144. Brewers plus 122. Over under 8. Overs minus 102. Unders minus 120. Brewers plus 1.5 is minus 170. Guardians minus 1.5 is plus 140. Guardians are close to 500. They're favored here. And they should be with Bieber on the mound. I'm going with this time. Ooh, this is a hard one. I'm gonna just take Milwaukee straight up at plus 122. Because I need an underdog. Red Sox, White Sox. Brian Balow and Lucas Giolito. Boston's favored minus 118. White Sox are even money over under 8. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Boston minus 1.5 is plus 140. White Sox plus 1.5 is minus 170. I like how Boston's playing. I'm taking them straight up at minus 118. Angels, Rockies, 8:30. Patrick Sandoval, Kyle Freeland. Angels minus 158. Rockies plus 134 over under 11.5. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Angels minus 1.5 is minus 106. Rockies plus 1.5 is minus 113. Full game under. 9:30 Nats, Padres. Patrick Corbin and Joe Musgrove. Padres minus 290. Nats plus 235 over under 8.5. Overs minus 102. Unders minus 120. Nats plus 1.5 is plus 116. Padres minus 1.5 is minus 140. I like full game over on this one. 10 o'clock, Astros, Dodgers. JP France and Emmett Sheehan. Dodgers minus 146. Astros plus 124 over under 8.5. Overs minus 120. Unders minus 102. Astros plus 1.5 is minus 160. Dodgers minus 1.5 is plus 132. World Series preview perhaps again. Because of the unknown with the Dodger pitcher, Sheehan, we only saw him once. I like the Astros straight up at plus 124. And then last but not least, 10-15, D-backs, Giants. Zach Davies, Logan Webb. Giants minus 184, D-backs plus 154, over under 8, minus 110 each way. D-backs plus 1.5 is minus 146. Giants minus 1.5 is plus 122. Zach Davies has been terrible for Arizona when he's pitched. Logan Webb has been a beast meanwhile. So for this one, I'm going to go over 4.5 San Francisco Giant runs at minus 102. All right, the weekend for baseball, 1 o'clock on Fox from London, Cubs Cardinals, Justin Steele, Adam Wainwright. 4 o'clock, Rangers Yankees from the stadium, John Gray, Luis Severino. That's a late time for that game. So it looks like it is going to be Clark Schmidt tonight, Luis Severino tomorrow. D-backs, Giants, Merrill Kelly Munoz is going for San Fran. Fox Sports 1, Mets, Phils, Carlos Carrasco, Christopher Sanchez. Mariners, O's, Bryce Miller, Dean Kremer. A's, Jays, Hogan, Harris, Jose Barrios. Braves, Reds, Jared Schuster and TBD. Red Sox, White Sox, James Paxton, Lance Lynn. Royals, Rays, Jordan Lyles, Yanni Chirinos. Brewers, Guardians, Freddie Peralta, Tanner Bibay. Pirates, Marlins, Osvaldo Bibo and Brian Hoeing. 7:15 on Fox, Astros, Dodgers. Ronald Blanco and Bobby Miller. If Joe Davis wasn't in London, he'd probably be doing this game. We're probably going to have a Kenny Albert sighting, probably in Detroit between the Twins and the Tigers. Pablo Lopez, Reese Olson. So I'm going to go on a limb and say it's Kenny Albert on Twins, Tigers, and Matt Vasgersian on Astros, Dodgers. Like, that would be my guess. I have no inside information. We'll find out tomorrow. And obviously, Joe Davis, John Smoltz in London. 8:30, Nats, Dodgers, Josiah Gray, Michael Wacha. And 9 o'clock, Angels, Rockies, Griffin Canning, Chase Anderson. All right, Sunday, 10 o'clock on ESPN in London, Cubs, Cardinals. Marcus Stroman, Jack Flaherty. Is this going to be the Carl Ravitch group, or do you think they send, like, Steve Levy out there to do this one? Gunpoint, I would say the Sunday night group, because it's a special game in London. 1:30, Rangers, Yanks. Andrew Heaney, Garrett Cole. Mets, Phils. Max Scherzer, Zach Wheeler. Mariners, Orioles. George Kirby and TBD. A's, Jays. Luis Medina, Yusei Kikuchi. Braves, Reds. Charlie Morton, Ben Lively. Royals, Rays. Daniel Lynch and Tyler Glasnow. Brewers, Guardians. Corbin Burns, Aaron Savali. Tigers hosting the Twins, Bailey Ober, Michael Lorenzen. Pirates, Marlins. Johan Oviedo and Yuri Perez. 2 o'clock, Red Sox, White Sox. Cutter Crawford and TBD. Angels, Rockies, Tyler Anderson, Austin Gomber. 4 o'clock, D-backs, Giants. Ryan Nelson, Anthony DeSclafani. Nats, Padres. Mackenzie Gore, Seth Lugo. And Sunday Night Baseball, 7 o'clock, ESPN, Astros, Dodgers. Hunter Brown, Tony Gonsolin. So if the Carl Ravitch group is doing London, then who does this? Imagine if it's Joe Buck. That would be awesome. But I doubt it. I don't see it right away, him going into baseball. But he should end up being the Sunday night guy down the road. If the Carl Ravitch group's in London, then who does this game? It would be Sean McDonough. But I know if the Sunday night group isn't in London, I would assume it's going to be Steve Levy. But it's going to be interesting. I know Astros-Dodgers is the better game than Cubs-Cardinals. But the fact that it's London and the Woods. I mean, you can make a case. Cubs is the National League's version of Yankees-Red Sox. You could argue it's that or Giants-Dodgers. But I think that's the Yankees-Red Sox of the National League, arguably. So I understand why if the league group was going to be out in London. So that's a good media thing to follow this weekend. All right, now move on to the WNBA. We will recap the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight and the weekend. Mystics over the Sky, 80-59. Sun over the Lynx, 89-68. Fever over the Storm, 80-68. Friday, 2 games, 7:30 on ION. You have the Liberty and the Dream. The Liberty are favored by 8 points. In Atlanta, down to 7.5, totals 169.5. I actually think that's kind of low. You're actually getting some value on the Liberty here. The Dream aren't very good. There must be a no UNESCO or something. That's why that's low, but I'm still going to lay the points of the Liberty for the first time this year. And at 10 o'clock on ION, on the Commissioner's Cup game between the Wings and the Sparks. Sparks favored by 1.5, totals 164.5. I'm going to lay the 1.5 with LA at home against Dallas. Saturday, 9 o'clock on NBA TV of the Fever and the Aces, and on Twitter at 9 o'clock, Commissioner's Cup game between the Mercury and the Storm. And then Sunday, 1 o'clock on ABC, Commissioner's Cup game, great game, Mystics Liberty from Barclays. Elena Del Don against Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu. That is a really fun game. You would expect that would be Ryan Rucco. And then ESPN 3, Commissioner's Cup, Sky Sun, and then 3 o'clock on ABC, you have the Wings and the Sparks. And then we finally have a game on a Monday coming up for the Monday podcast, so that's pretty cool. All right, now move on to soccer. We'll go over the results from yesterday of significance, and we'll look ahead to the weekend. All right, so we have not many results to really get into from yesterday. We had a women's international friendly, Republic of Ireland over Zambia 3-2. And then results from yesterday for under 21 Euros. England over Czech Republic 2-0. Swiss over Norway 2-1. Germany, Israel 1-1 draw. France over Italy 2-1. And over the weekend, Saturday, we have Georgia, Belgium at 12. Portugal, Netherlands also at 12. Romania and Ukraine at 12 and 2:45. Spain and Croatia. And then Sunday, 12 o'clock, Czech Republic, Germany, England, Israel, Swiss, Italy. And 2:45, you have Norway and France. Nationals Women's Soccer League, we have games tonight, or I should say games this weekend and one game tonight. 10:30 of Portland and Washington. We have Portland minus 180, Washington plus 460, draw plus 310. Portland's a pretty significant favorite. I like under 2.5 goals, though, at plus 134. Saturday, 7 o'clock, North Carolina, Louisville, Orlando, KC, 10 o'clock, San Diego, OL Reign. And then Sunday, you have Gotham, Chicago, 5:30, and at 8, you have Angel City, Houston. MLS for the weekend coming up. 7:30 Saturday night, Charlotte, CF Montreal, Columbus, Nashville, DC United, Cincinnati, New England, Toronto, Red Bulls, Atlanta, Philly, Miami. That's the first Union home game in a while, it feels like. 8:30 Austin, Houston, KC, Chicago. Colorado, LA Galaxy. Colorado had their game postponed last time. That's a 9:30 game. Salt Lake, Minnesota, LAFC, Vancouver at 10:30, and then Portland, NYCFC, San Jose, St. Louis, and Seattle, Orlando. So a lot of West Coast games this weekend coming up. So it's going to be interesting with that. And then we have Gold Cup this weekend. Tomorrow night, 9:30, Fox Sports 1, you have USA and Jamaica. And then Sunday, the 25th, 3:30, of Trinidad against St. Kitts. At 3:30, at 6, you have Haiti and Qatar. And 8 o'clock, you have Mexico and Honduras. So some Gold Cup action this weekend to look forward to as well. But yeah, all the big leagues pretty much come back in August. So that gives us more content then. Alrighty, the Men's College World Series, we're down to the finals as the last spot was determined last night. Is number 5 LSU defeats number 1 Wake Forest 2-0 in 11 on a walk-off home run by Tommy Tanks White to send LSU to the Men's College World Series finals. So congrats to LSU for making it here. So we have an all-SEC Men's College World Series. It'll all start tomorrow between LSU and Florida. 7 o'clock, ESPN Game 1. Should be a lot of clues. Should be a lot of fun. I say clues because I just had Cruz in my head, like Dylan Cruz. But will LSU cruise to a title? Florida's also a really good team of their own. White is a really good hitter for LSU too, and then LSU had their ace on the bump, which was a big deal. And Wake had their ace on the bump last night too. So, how long did he pitch? Skenis pitched 8 innings. Will he be able to go on Monday is the question, on short rest, if were to be a Game 3. So it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a good series. And my guess is that he does go on short rest for a Game 3. So I'm going to say LSU in 3 games over Wake Forest to win the Men's College World Series. I'm going to say that LSU loses Game 1 to Florida. I think Florida wins Game 1. LSU wins Game 2 on Sunday at 3 o'clock. And then Game 3 on Monday will be won by LSU. So I'm going to say it's Florida, then LSU, then LSU. But we'll recap this on Monday and see how this plays out and whether that Game 3 will be played or not. Let's hope it is for the sake of the podcast. All right, now we will go over the current leaderboard for the Travelers Championship. Your leader right now with the score of 10 under is Eric Cole. Tied for second with 9 under, Dylan McCarthy, Adam Scott. Tied for fourth with 8 under, Keegan Bradley, Sunjay M, and Zach Blair. Tied for seventh with 7 under, Scotty Scheffler, Lucas Herbert. Tied for ninth with 6 under, Shane Lowry, Chesner V, Grayson Sieg, Jason Hadley, Carson Young, Aaron Ray, Matt Fitzpatrick, Rory McIlroy, Chen On Yu, Zach Johnson. Tied for 19th with 5 under, Kevin Stroman, Kelly Kraft, Patrick Cantlay, Brendan Todd, Victor Hovland, Cam Davis, Luke List, Stefan Yeager. Tied for 27th with 4 under, Min Woo Lee, Sungwoo Kim, C. Thiglia, Chad Ramey, JT Potts, and Peter Malnati, Brian Hartleman, Robert Streb, Corey Connors, and Ludwig Gayberg. Tied for 37th with 3 under, Austin Eckert, Carson Young, Adam Putnam, Emiliano Grillo, Ben Martin, Lucas Hodges, Andrew Novak, Harry Hall, Ricky Fowler, Davis Thompson, Ryan Henley, Tony Finau, JJ Spawn, Tommy Fleetwood, Tom Kim, Jason Day, Andrew Landry, Doug Gim, Ben Taylor, Callum Tarrant, Pat Kazir, Russell Knox, Brandon Wu, Ben Gannon, and Andrew Savoda. Tied for 62nd with 2 under, Ryan Palmer, Justin Sue, Davis Lipsky, Xander Schauffele, Dylan Wu, Wyndham Clark, Taylor Hogue, Matt Neesmith, Adam Schenk, Kevin Tway, Michael Kim, Mark Hubbard, John Rahm, Seamus Power, Webb Simpson, Brett Stigmeyer, Lucas Griffin, Patrick Rogers, and Sam Bennett. Tied for 81st with 1 under, B.U. Hostler, Tyler Duncan, Seb Straka, Joaquin Herman, Harry English, Gary Woodland, Ken Lee, Martin Laird, Hideki Matsuyama, Joseph Brimlett, Charlie Hoffman, Nate Hardy, Adam Long, and Kyle Reifers. Tied for 95th at even, Thomas Dietrich, Justin Thomas, Davis Riley, Adam Smalley, Sam Ryder, Brandon Gay, Doc Redman, Victor Norman, Nate Watney, Colin Morikawa, Jason Duffner, Hayden Buckley, Robbie Shell, and Max McGreevy, and Siching Du. Tied for 110th with 1 over to do notables now. Taylor Pendrith, Taylor Moore, Adam Svensson, Cam Chan, Kurt Katayama, Tyson Alexander, Dylan Lingworth, Danny Willett, Lucas Glover, Siwoo Kim, Stuart Singh. Tied for 22nd with 2 over, or 122nd with 2 over. Brett Horschel, Scott Stevens, Austin Spotherman, Max Homa, Richie Rensky, J.B. Holmes, Trey Merritt, Nate Lashley, Trey Milonax, Justin Lauer. Tied for 132nd with 3 over, Jimmy Walker, Nicholas Echeverria, Joel Dahman, Scott Stallings, Ben Griffin, Christian Ziedenhout, and Brandon James. Tied for 139th with 4 over, Grayson Higo, Francesco Molinari, and Will Gordon. Tied for 142nd with 5 over, Ryan Moore, Paul Haley, Evan Van Rooyen, Yichun Yan, Robert Brem. Tied for 147th with 6 over, Matthias Rob, Kramer Hickok. Tied for 149th with 7 over, James Hahn. 152nd with 8 over, Matt Kuchar. 152nd with 9 over, Cheng Sun Pong. And I should say 151st with 7 over would be Matt Kuchar. 153rd with 10 over, Matt Wallace. Withdrawing, Mackenzie Hughes, Scott Piercy, and my pick to win it was Kevin Kisner. He withdrew, which stinks for me. All right, NASCAR's back this weekend after having the Father's Day weekend off. We'll start with the Truck Series from Nashville tonight, 8 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. Should be an interesting race down in Nashville. For this race, I'm going to lay a 1/10 of a unit per pick like I usually do. For the Rackley Roofing 200, I'm going to go with Ben Rhodes at 18-1. Xfinity from Nashville, the Tennessee Lottery 250. So for this one, Justin Allgaier's a 3-1 favorite. I think he's overvalued. This is someone I'd probably have gone with this year. But I think the value is really good at 22-1. I'll go with AJ Allmendinger at 22-1 to win the Tennessee Lottery 250. And then the Cup Series from Nashville, 7 o'clock on Sunday night from Nashville on NBC. Should be a really good race. And my pick for this one, all the good drivers are shorter than 10-1, it feels like. But somebody I like is at 18-1. That's Tyler Reddick. I'm going to pick Tyler Reddick to win the Ally 400. All right, now I'm going to do my NHL mock draft. I haven't done one in a while. The draft's next Wednesday, or I should say this upcoming Wednesday. So without further ado, here we go. Number 1, the Chicago Blackhawks, Connor Bedard, center from Regina, WHL. It's a no-brainer who the Blackhawks will take first overall. Bedard is the best prospect since Connor McDavid and will be a franchise changer in Chicago for years to come with his ability to rack up the points and will bring much-needed hope to the franchise. Number 2, the Anaheim Ducks, Adam Fantilli, center, Michigan, NCAA. It felt like a no-brainer that Fantilli will be the choice here for the Ducks, but some may feel different after the World Championships and with rumors he may go back to school for sophomore year. Fantilli would fit nicely with the young talent the Ducks have. Number 3, the Columbus Blue Jackets, Leo Carlsson, forward, Orbero, Sweden. The Jackets have some options here, but the feeling is that they'll go with the versatile player in Carlsson. He is big and has good skill down low and gets through traffic well. 4, San Jose Sharks, Will Smith, center, USA under 18, NTDP. The Sharks have some options here, and personally, they should go with the best player available. Smith has the potential to be a top-line center with his playmaking ability, which the Sharks have lacked over the past several years. Number 5, the Montreal Canadiens, Matevy Maikov, wings, St. Petersburg, Russia. The Canadiens add to their collection of young forwards here with Maikov. In any other season, he could have been the top pick in the draft. If not for the long contract in Russia, he could have gone higher than this. 6, the Arizona Coyotes, David Reinbacher, defenseman, EHC Clawton. The Coyotes have to be in taking the best guy available here. Strategy, and they go with Maikov, who fits the bill. Or I should say Reinbacher. Reinbacher has offensive upside, size, mobility, and he's the league's most ready D-man in the draft. I should say most league ready. Number 7, the Philadelphia Flyers, Ryan Leonard, wing, USA under 18, NTDP. The Flyers are a team in dire need of young talent. Leonard comes from a loaded team that he showed his ability to be a great scorer. He's a character guy, and everyone loves to have those on their team. 8, the Washington Capitals, Dalibor Dvorsky, center, Ike, Sweden. The Caps can realistically go anywhere at the selection. Dvorsky has the ability to be a plug-and-play player and has a good hockey IQ. 9, the Detroit Red Wings, Zach Benson, wing, Winnipeg, WHL. Benson is someone whose draft stock is rising to the point that people had Benson mocks of the Wings with their second first-rounder. Benson has excellent IQ, skill, and the motor to be successful. Number 10, the St. Louis Blues, Tom Willander, defenseman, Rocco Jr., Sweden Jr. The Blues, with their first pick of the round, land the solid, fast-rising D-man in Willander. He is a solid two-way guy that is mobile and has the pedigree many teams like. 11, the Vancouver Canucks, Nate Danielson, center, Brendan, WHL. The Canucks got a center prospect here in Danielson, which they can use. Danielson has a great tools kit, is a character guy that teams love, and is a great all-around player. 12, the Arizona Coyotes from the Ottawa Senators, Gabriel Perreault, wing, USA under 18, NTDP. He's another NTDP player off the board in Perreault. He played on the top line on that loaded team and has a good shot. He can handle the puck well and is a good passer. 13, the Buffalo Sabres. Dmitry Simashev, defenseman, Yaroslav Jr., Russia Jr. The Sabres here grab a solid D-man in Simashev to add to their collection of defense prospects. He has the ability to be a great defenseman with some offensive game too. 14, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Matthew Wood, wing, UConn, NCAA. This would be a good pick for the Pens as they are a team that needs some young talent in their system. Wood is a power forward type of player with a ton of high-end skill. 15, the Nashville Predators. Samuel Honzek, wing, Vancouver, WHL. Honzek is someone whose draft stock was dropping a few weeks ago. Honzek has a lot of upside and is super physical and moves well and can get to the net as teams think he can convert to center. 16, the Calgary Flames. Colby Barlow, wing, Owen, OHL. The Flames are a team that aren't too far away from being a contender in the West again. Barlow is somebody that has a terrific scorer with a good shot and is a good defensive player too. 17, the Detroit Red Wings from the New York Islanders via the Vancouver Canucks. Daniil Boot, Red Wing. Or I should say wing. Loko Yaroslavl, OHL. I say Red Wing. That's funny. With their second first rounder, the Red Wings take the rising forward in Boot. He has a great shot and is a force on the boards and down low, but he is not the best skater. 18, the Winnipeg Jets. Oliver Moore, forward, USA Under 18, NTDP. The Jets get a possible steal here with another NTDP player in Moore. He has blazing speed and is versatile, and this pick would be ideal for the Jets because they're considering blowing it up. 19, the Chicago Blackhawks from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Brandon Yeager, center, Moose Jaw, WHL. The Blackhawks double down and take another talented center in Yeager. He is someone that could slip out of the first round due to his height and lack of scoring, sans having a quick shot. 20, the Seattle Kraken. Axel Sundin Palika, defenseman, Skellefteå Jr., Sweden. This would be a solid pick for the Kraken as they need young defensemen. Sundin Palika is a good puck handler and could guide an offense. 21, the Minnesota Wild. David Edstrom, center, Frölund Jr., Sweden Jr. This would be a good pick for the Wild, who need center depth in their system and have cap issues long term. Edstrom is a good two-way player that can skate and has good skies. 22, the Philadelphia Flyers from the Los Angeles Kings via the Columbus Blue Jackets. Oliver Bunk, defenseman, London, OHL. With their second first rounder, the Flyers go defense here with Bunk. He's a big mobile puck mover and would fit well with the Flyers. 23, the New York Rangers. Callum Ritchie, forward, Oshawa, OHL. The Rangers can use some center depth in their system, and they land one here with Ritchie. He's a good all-around player that can score and pass and is reliable in all three zones. 24, the Nashville Predators from the Edmonton Oilers. Andrew Cristall, wing, Kelowna, WHL. With their second first rounder, the Preds go with another forward. Cristall is an offensive machine and has great vision and ability. 25, the St. Louis Blues from the Toronto Maple Leafs. Otto Stenberg, forward, Falunda HC SHL. With their second first rounder, the Blues get the versatile forward in Stenberg. He's a strong player and has a good wrist shot. 26, the San Jose Sharks from the New Jersey Devils. Michael Rabel, goaltender, Omaha, USHL. With their second first rounder, the Sharks take the first goalie off the board. The Sharks do need a long-term answer in net, and Rabel showed the potential in the past. 27, the Colorado Avalanche. Tanner Molendick, defenseman, Saskatoon, WHL. The Avs need some youth in their system, and here I have them snagging the D-man in Molendick. He is a high-end skater and competes hard. 28, the Toronto Maple Leafs from the Boston Bruins via the Washington Capitals. Edward Sale, wing, Bruno Chesia. With their lone first rounder, which they got in the deal last trade deadline, the Leafs go with the forward here in Sale. He is someone that many feel is a polarizing player, but he has great hands. 29, the St. Louis Blues from the Dallas Stars via the New York Rangers. Gavin Brindley, center, wing, Michigan, NCAA. The Blues with their third first rounder here go with the talented forward in Brindley. He is a versatile player that has speed and a good scoring touch. Number 30, the Carolina Hurricanes. Quentin Musi, wing, Sudbury, OHL. The Hurricanes are a team that is a complete unknown come the offseason. Musi is not afraid to throw his body around and is great in front of the net and can beat defenders well too. 31, the Montreal Canadiens from the Florida Panthers. Etienne Morin, defenseman, Moncton, QMJHL. With their second first rounder to have to go defense here with Morin. He is a good puck-moving D-man and excels in transition. And 32, the Vegas Golden Knights, Danny Nelson Center, USA Under 18, NTDP. The Golden Knights take a safe bet prospect here with Nelson. He's super athletic and has good physical tools and is good in the face-off department and has good size. So there you have it for my latest NHL mock draft. Now I'm going to do the news and notes for today. A lot of stuff that I really didn't touch on in the draft segment. So Brandon Miller, Shades MJ, he said he's unimpressed with the GOAT. I waited him free throw. Brandon Miller says that LeBron is NBA's best player, but doubles down on Paul George fandom. We talked about the Charlotte Hornets booing the Brandon Miller pick on the draft show. Angel Reese, the LSU star, called that Pelican selection of Jordan Hawkins, and that's her cousin, so that's pretty cool. We talked about the Marcus Sasser trade as the Pistons trade up to 25 with Boston. And the Celtics traded back several times and traded back to 38. Wembanyama was obviously emotional. There was an NBA fan's trade Dame shirt that showed up. So that is very interesting. It looks like a Knicks jersey that said trade Dame, like one of those retro Knicks jerseys. Grady Dick got followed by Drake on Instagram already, which is funny. We talked about Sonogo going to Chicago, Noel going to the Raptors. There was momentum about Scoot going second, but ultimately the odds shifted toward Brandon Miller. There was teams prepping Dame offers as they didn't know how Portland was or Lillard was gonna react if Portland didn't trade the pick, which they didn't. And Dame hasn't spoken to the Blazers about the draft, free agency, or his future, as we talked about earlier. He's getting traded. I think he's the next big name dealt. Speaking of big names dealt, the Warriors trade Jordan Poole for Chris Paul. Future draft assets going to Washington, the deal. I really don't like the fit with Curry and Paul together. I think that's awkward. But if anybody's going to make it work, it's Golden State. And the funny thing is that Yahoo reported that the Warriors were shopping Poole and were actively engaged, and then 5 minutes later, they pull off that Wizards trade. And then speaking of the Wizards, they get 10 picks from the Suns, 6 second-rounders, and 4 first-round pick swaps in the Bradley Beal trade. So they kind of got more than we thought they would. And then they got more because they were able to get Jordan Poole from Golden State, essentially. And then we talked about the Davis Bertans contract going in that trade as they attached the 10th pick, Dallas, to move down to 12. And they get the trade exemption, which they use to acquire Rashawn Holmes from Sacramento, along with the 24th pick. Patrick Baldwin Jr. going to the Wizards are part of the CP3 Poole deal. Siakam prefers to stay on the Raptors as there's growing sentiment with Siakam would not re-sign with the team that attempts to trade for him. Interesting. So the Knicks and the Clippers apparently talked about Paul George. It is unknown if the Clippers are willing to move Paul George. I think he's available for the right price. I really do. If the Knicks were to get him, it depends on the price ultimately. I still think Paul George is a really, really good player when he's healthy. And let's face it, he'd be an upgrade over R.J. Barrett right now, despite the injury stuff. Arturas Karantsovas, the Bulls GM, does not expect Lonzo Ball to take the court next season. Yikes. What a disaster there. Kawhi Leonard had knee surgery as he had cleanup procedure on torn meniscus as he faces an 8-week recovery. We talked about the Dubs Wizards trade. So Chris Paul to the Warriors for Jordan Poole, Ryan Rollins, 2030 first rounder and 2 second rounders. So that feels like a lot for Chris Paul, but it's a lot of like fillers and stuff, and you never know at 2030. And that first rounder could actually be a good first rounder because you never know with the Warriors in 2030. And Chris Paul says he already spoke with Stephen Curry and is excited to help the Warriors win games. Kristaps Porzingis seems excited about the trade to Boston. Bronny James to wear number 6 at USC to honor his dad, so that's pretty cool. UFC spoke to Dana White. Dana White spoke to Elon Musk and Zucker. So that is and Mark Zuckerberg. So that is going to be a epic fight if that were to happen. The two CEOs are dead serious about a fight, so they spoke with Dana White about it. So that's something to keep an eye on. The NHL to stop warm-up jerseys as the Board of Governors announces teams will no longer wear specialty jerseys next season to limit distraction. I think there's going to be some organizations and teams not happy about this decision. That's because of all the controversy we've seen throughout the league, and they want to stop it. So I understand why the league is doing it, but I know there's going to be some people that are unhappy with this. So I'm interested to see the reaction. Deion Sanders having emergency surgery for the blood clot in his groin, but the good news is that his leg will not be amputated. So that is good news for Deion Sanders. Hopefully he does okay in the surgery, but the good news is that his leg is not being amputated like some of the rumors suggest. So Nationals manager Dave Martinez got ejected yesterday, and he got on all fours arguing with the home plate umpire. It's epic. You better see it. The Pirates came out with alternate uniforms, black and gold. I don't know if I really like them. Rob Manfred is planning a Paris series as Manfred announced his league is in planning stages of having the 2025 series in Paris. So that's pretty cool. No delay in EA college football video as EA Sports' much anticipated college football game is still on track for this or summer of 2024 despite recent lawsuit. And Jets safety Chuck Clark tears his ACL as he'll miss the year after injuring the knee at practice. So that is brutal news for the Jets, and that hurts their depth. So the MLB All-Star finalists are out, and the most votes that are automatically in are Shohei Ohtani and Ronald Acuna Jr., and deservingly so. Those are, in my opinion, the two most likely MVPs as of right now. So the rest of the lists. You have the AL. First base, Vladdy Jr. and Yandy Diaz. Second base, Marcus Semien, Merrifield. Third base, Josh Young, Matt Chapman. Shortstop, Corey Seager and Bo Bichette. Catcher, Riley Rutschman and Jonah Heim. Outfielders, Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, Randy Arozarena, Yordan Alvarez, Kevin Kiermaier, and Adolis Garcia. And the National League, Ronald Acuna got right in. And then first base, it's Freeman and Olsen. Second base, Arez and Albies. Third base, Arenado and Riley. Shortstop, Arcia and Lindor. Catcher, Murphy and Smith. Outfield, Betts, Carroll, Gurriel Jr., Michael Harris. DH, JD Martinez, Bryce Harper. I would go Freeman, Araz, Riley, Arcia, Smith. Outfield, Corbin Carroll, Betts, Michael Harris, DH, JD Martinez. So that would be my starting lineup. Like I said, I value winning. If you want to be an all-star starter in baseball, you got to be on a winning team. And I get the 30 teams need somebody thing. But if you want to be a starter, you should be on a winning team. Alrighty, last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. One stuck out to me in particular. It was a total. And it was a low total. I'm going to lay a full unit on it. Over 7.5. Pirates Marlins. So you have Jesus Luzardo and Luis Ortiz. Neither of these guys have been good. Luis Arraez is hot. So I'm going over 7.5 runs between the Pirates and the Marlins for my best bet of the day. So that's it for the show. I'll be back on Monday recapping everything from the weekend and looking ahead to everything going on Monday. And I'll have NHL mock drafts all week for you next week. Have a great day, everybody.